Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. You're welcome to this video. In this video, we're going to be discussing about the various signs of pause in Quran. When you're reciting the Quran, you will notice that you will see some sign on some verses. Those signs you must have been confused that what is the meaning of those signs. So in this video, we're going to explain the meaning and the effect of these signs. There are about 6 of them, and the first one that we're going to be talking about in this video is meme. You would see a small meme usually on a verse. It is different from the meme of qalab. Yeah, this is just a meme, and it is a sign of a pause. So whenever you see this meme on a verse or any part of a verse, because these pauses they have to do with the pausing at the middle of a verse. So anytime you find this meme on a verse, so what it means is that it is compulsory that you pause. It is compulsory that you pause on that point where the meme is. So then you have to apply the rule of waqf. So now, an example for that is the verse where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, إنما يستجيب الذين يسمعون. There's a meme sign on it, so you're going to pause. It is compulsory that you pause. Then you now proceed. وَالْمَوْتَى يَبْعَثُهُمْ. Alright, so the next sign that we're going to be talking about is lam alif. Usually when you're reciting the Quran, you would see lam alif on some verses. So what the lam alif means is that you must not pause at that point. You must not pause. So when you're reciting the Quran, then you find lam alif on a word, so it means you must not pause on that word. So an example for that in the Quran is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, الَّذِينَ تَتَوَفَّاهُمُ الْمَلَائِكَةُ طَيِّبِينَ يَقُولُونَ. So when you see the verse, you would notice that there's a lam alif on the tayyibin. So ordinarily, some person, due to short breath, they might want to pause, but then it is not permissible for you to pause on that tayyibin. So you have to proceed. الَّذِينَ تَتَوَفَّاهُمُ الْمَلَائِكَةُ طَيِّبِينَ. So you cannot pause there. That's very wrong. So that should be الَّذِينَ تَتَوَفَّاهُمُ الْمَلَائِكَةُ طَيِّبِينَ يَقُولُونَ. Alright, so that's the second one, and then the third one is jim. So jim is a sign of pause. It means that it is permissible for you to pause, and wherever you find it, it is permissible to pause. Like is a sign for jawaz. Jawaz means permissible, so permissibility in Arabic language. So wherever you find jim on a verse of the Quran, so it means you're permitted to pause on that verse. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah Al-Kahf, نحن نقص عليك نبأهم بالحق. So there's a sign, there's jim sign there. So what it means is that it's permissible for you to pause there. You cannot proceed. إنهم فتية آمنوا بربهم وزدناهم هدى. Alright, so that's that about jim. And then after jim, the next sign that we're going to be looking at is sword. It's not exactly sword, it looks like sword. You're going to see it on the screen. As you can see on the screen, it's not exactly sword, it just looks like a sword. So what the sign means is that it is permissible for you to pause there, but the most preferable thing is that you continue. The most preferable thing is that you continue when you see the sign. So an example for that is where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَإِن يَمْسَسْكَ اللَّهُ بِضُرٍّ فَلَا كَاشِفَ لَهُ إِلَّا هُوَ. So if you notice on that illahu, you would see that there is sword there. So that's why it paused. So it is permissible for you to pause, but the best thing for you is to continue. So which means you can read it either ways. You can either pause on it or you can continue. So if I'm to continue, this is what I'm going to recite it. وَإِن يَمْسَسْكَ اللَّهُ بِضُرٍّ فَلَا كَاشِفَ لَهُ إِلَّا هُوَ وَإِن. It's just for you to know that you have to continue. So you can either continue or you pause. So that's a sign. That's third sign. It means it is permissible for you to pause, but the best thing for you to do there is to continue. So the next sign that we're going to be talking about is cough. That this one too doesn't look exactly like cough, but it is cough. We can actually call it cough because that's the closest thing we can call it. So what this sign means is that whenever you have it on a word in any verse, so you're permitted to pause there, and then you can continue. It's just when you say something is jaiz, so it means you can either do it or not do it. So you can either pause or you can either continue. So, but the best thing is that you pause. The best thing is that you pause. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, قُلْ رَبِّي أَعْلَمُ بِعِدَّتِهِمْ مَا يَعْلَمُهُمْ إِلَّا قَلِيلٌ. And so on to Kahf. Alright, so the last one that we're going to be using to wrap it all up is the sign of three dots. You're going to see three dots, and it is most times it is always doubled. So you would see three dots, like 1, 2, 3, just like you can see on the screen. So three dots, and then you see it in two places. So what this sign means is that when you pause in one place, then you cannot pause at the other. You just have to pause at one place. So you can have this. An example for this is in Surah to Baqarah, the second verse. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابُ لَا رَيْبَ. So there's a sign of the pause on that لَا رَيْب, and there's a sign of the pause on فِيهِ. So it's either you pause on لَا رَيْب or you pause on فِيهِ. So let us try to apply it in the recitation of the Quran. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابُ لَا رَيْبَ. So that's if you want to pause on the first part. So it means you're not going to pause on the second part. So but if you want to pause on the second part, it's going to be ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابُ لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ. Alright, so that's all about the signs of pause in the Quran. And then thank you for seeing this video. See you in the next one. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
وَلَقَدْ يَسَّرْنَا الْقُرْآنَ لِلذِّكْرِ فَهَلْ مِن مُّدَّكِرٍ